Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. We welcome you to our online teaching academy Ekaleva. This video is on the lesson The Sermon at Benares from CBSE 10th English. Before we get into the lesson, let's see the activity given in your book. Use a dictionary or ask for your teacher's help as we discuss the following questions in groups. What is a sermon? Is it different from a lecture or a talk? Can this word also be used in a negative way or as a joke? As in, my mother's sermon about getting my work done on time. What is sermon? Sermon is a religious talk. In what way it is different from lecture? Lecture can be given by any person on any topic, whereas sermon can be given by a hermit or a sage. This word sermon can also be used in a negative way or as a joke. For example, if somebody gives a long talk or a long advice, we say that that particular person gave a sermon on this, on that. Okay? There's another exercise. Find out the meaning of the words and phrases given in box. Afflicted with. Afflicted with means suffer from something. Be composed means have your feeling under control. Desolation means loneliness. Lamentation means sorrow. Procure means obtain or get. Be subject to means be conditionally. Have you heard of the Sermon on the Mount? Who delivered it? Who do you think delivered a sermon at Benares? The Sermon on the Mount was delivered by Jesus Christ. He delivered it to his disciples. Whereas a sermon at Benares was delivered by Gautama Buddha. Now let's get into the lesson. Gautama Buddha began life as a prince and named Siddhartha Gautama in northern India. You know, Gautama Buddha, he was the founder of Buddhism religion. He was born in northern India and he was believed to live during the period from (563 BC to 483 BC. He began his life as a prince because he belonged to a royal family. His parents named him as Siddhartha Gautama. At 12, he was sent away for schooling in the Hindu sacred scriptures, and 4 years later he returned home to marry a princess. When he was 12 years old, he was sent for schooling to learn Hindu scriptures. After 4 years, he returned home. It means when he was 16 years old, he returned home and got married to a princess. They had a son and lived for 10 years as befitted royalty. So, befitted means proper. He led a royal family, a royal life, and he lived happily and had a son. At about the age of 25, the prince heretofore shielded from the sufferings of the world while out hunting chanced upon a sick man, then an aged man, then a funeral procession, and finally a monk begging for alms. So, heretofore means up to this time. Until he was 25 years, he was neither exposed to any sufferings nor experienced it. So he was shielded from sufferings. He was shielded, he was protected. He was protected in a royal palace. And once when he was out for hunting, he happened to see a sick man, an aged man, then a funeral procession, and finally a monk begging for alms. Alms means given for the relief of a poor. I mean the charity given for the relief of the poor. So he happened to see all this thing. These sights so moved him that he at once went out into the world to seek enlightenment concerning the sorrows he had witnessed. These sights what sights? These sorrowful sights affected him greatly. So he went out of the palace and went into the world to seek enlightenment. Enlightenment means advanced state of knowledge. Concerning the sorrows he had witnessed, what are the sufferings he witnessed? He witnessed a sick man, an aged man, and the monk begging for alms, and then a funeral procession, all that he witnessed. So he wanted to find out the reason or the cause for all these sufferings. He wandered for 7 years and finally sat down under a peepal tree where he vowed to stay until the enlightenment came. So he wandered here and there for the answer. What was the answer he wanted? He wanted the reason or the cause for all these sufferings. So at last he came and sat down under a peepal tree and he vowed. Vowed means he swore. He swore to stay there under the peepal tree until he gets enlightenment. Enlightened after 7 days, he renamed the tree the Bodhi tree and began to teach and to share his new understandings. So after 7 days, he got enlightenment. So, and afterwards he renamed the tree. Which tree is that? Peepal tree. He renamed the tree, peepal tree, as Bodhi tree. Bodhi tree means tree of wisdom. And then he started teaching or preaching and to share his new understandings to the people. At that point, he became known as the Buddha. Buddha means the awakened or the enlightened. So from that time onwards, he was called as Buddha. The Buddha preached his first sermon at the city of Benares, most holy of the dipping places on the river Ganges. That sermon has been preserved and is given here. So Buddha, he gave the first sermon at Benares. Benares is the old name, the new name is Varanasi. That Varanasi is situated on the bank of the river Ganges. And that sermon has been preserved and it has been given as a lesson in your book. It reflects the Buddha's wisdom about one inscrutable kind of suffering. So what is inscrutable? Means something which cannot be understood. So from the sermon we can understand the Buddha's wisdom about the inscrutable kind of suffering. Kisa Gautami had an only son and he died. So it's about the story of a young woman named Kisa Gautami, and she had only one son and he died. In her grief, she carried the dead child to all her neighbors, asking them for medicine, and the people said, "She has lost her senses, the boy is dead." So she was not able to bear the death of her son. So she carried the dead body of her son and she went to all her neighbors and asked them for the medicine to cure her son. But everybody knew that nobody can revive the life of the dead person. So they said that she has lost her senses because the boy is dead. At length Kisa Gautami met a man who replied to her request, I can't give thee medicine for thy child, but I know a physician who can. So thee means you. Thy means your. So after meeting everyone, after asking everyone, at last she met a person, and he said that he cannot give her a medicine, but he said that he knew a physician. Physician means the doctor, and he told her to go to the doctor. And the girl said, pray tell me, sir, who is it? And the man replied, go to Sakyamuni the Buddha. And that person told Kisa Gautami to go to Sakyamuni the Buddha. Kisa Gautami repaired to the Buddha and cried, Lord and Master, give me the medicine that will cure my boy. So at last she went to Gautama Buddha, and he asked him to give her medicine to cure her son. The Buddha answered, I want a handful of mustard seed. Buddha said, and he wanted a handful of mustard seed. And when the girl in her joy promised to procure it, the Buddha added, the mustard seed must be taken from a house where no one has lost a child, a husband, parent, or a friend. So the Kisa Gautami was very happy because she was going to get the medicine to cure her son. But as she was about to move, Gautama Buddha added that she has to take the mustard seed from the house where no one has died. So procure means obtain, and repaired means went. Poor Kisa Gautami now went from house to house, and the poor and the people pitied her and said, here is mustard seed, take it. And Kisa Gautami went from house to house and asked for the mustard seed, and everybody was ready to give, and they gave her. But when she asked, did a son or daughter or father or mother die in your family? And when she asked anybody had died in their family, in their house, they answered her, alas, the living are few, but the dead are many. Do not remind us of our deepest grief. So when she asked whether anybody died in their house, they said that living are few, or dead are more. And also they told her not to remind them of their grief. And there was no house, but some beloved one had died in it. So she could not find any such house. Someone or other had died in every house. Kisa Gautami became weary and hopeless and sat down at the side and the wayside, watching the lights of the city as they flickered up and they were extinguished again. So she became weary. Weary means she became tired. She became tired and hopeless. She did not have any hope. So she just sat down on the wayside and she started looking at the lights of the city. As she was watching it, and the lights just flickered out and they got extinguished. Extinguished means put out. At last the darkness of the night reigned everywhere. So at last the darkness filled the night. And she considered the fate of men, that their lights flicker up and are extinguished again. So now she understood, as the light flickers and gets extinguished, man's life also flickers and gets extinguished. And she thought to herself, how selfish am I in my grief? That is common to all. Yet in this valley of desolation, there is a path that leads him to mortality, who has surrendered all selfishness. And at last she also understood, and she told to herself that she had been selfish all these days. And also she understood that death is common to all. And one more thing she understood, that if a person surrender all their selfishness, and they can come out of the lamentation and they'll be led to immortality. Immortality means eternal. What is the opposite of eternal? Transitory. This. For there is not any means by which those that have been born can avoid dying. After reaching old age, there is death. Of such a nature are living beings. And also she understands that nobody can do anything to avoid, to escape the death. If we become a aged person, so when we are reaching old age, we have to die one day or the other. That is the law of nature. As ripe fruits are early in danger of falling, so mortals when born are always in danger of death. So as the ripened fruits fall from the tree, when we are reaching the old age, we should also die one day. So mortals means those are bound to die. As all earthen vessels made by the potter end in being broken, so is the life of mortals. The pot which is made up of clay gets broken. So is the life of mortal. Both young and adult. Both those who are fools and those who are wise, all fall into the power of death. So irrespective of age or irrespective of intelligence, everybody has to fall into the power of death, and everybody is subject to death. Of those who overcome by death, depart from life, a father cannot save his son, nor kinsmen their relations. So nobody can save anybody. So the person who has overcome death and already who has died, depart from life means who has died, they also cannot save anybody. A father cannot save a son cannot save a father. A kinsman means the relative. One relative cannot save the relations or the relatives. Mark, while relatives are looking on and lamenting deeply, one by one, mortals are carried off like an ox that is led to the slaughter. So if somebody dies, others cry over the death of the person. But they should also understand that one day or the other, everybody has to die one day. As how an ox is taken to a slaughter. So the world is afflicted with death and decay. Therefore the wise do not grieve, knowing the terms of the world. The wise can understand the fact that the world is afflicted with death and decay. So the wise people don't grieve. Not from weeping, nor from grieving will anyone obtain peace of mind, By weeping or grieving, we cannot obtain the peace of mind. On the contrary, his pain will be the greater and his body will suffer. But on the contrary, our body and mind will become weak and we suffer. He will make himself sick and pale, yet the dead are not saved by his lamentation. So we will become weak and pale, but how much ever we cry, we cannot save the life of the dead person. We cannot revive the life of the dead person. He who seeks peace should draw out the arrow of lamentation and complain and grief. So if we want to attain the peace of mind, we have to come out of the lamentation. So he who has drawn out the arrow and has become composed will obtain peace of mind. He who has overcome all sorrow will become free from sorrow and be blessed. So once we come out of the lamentation and we are composed, we are able to control our feelings. We are able to control our feelings and we can obtain the peace of mind. So those who obtain the peace of mind will overcome all the sorrows and we are free from sorrows and we are blessed by God. So this is how Gautama Buddha made Kisa Gautami understand that death is common to all and it is a part of the life. I hope you enjoyed this video. For more videos, please do subscribe. See you in the next class. Thank you.